Yo, Aficionados Chris here, and today I'm...
Damn cigarettes! That's right, we're going to be reviewing what is considered by many a classic anime series, and just a classic series in general, a personal favorite of mine, Cowboy Bebop, on Blu-ray for the very first time from Funimation, and we're going to be talking about not one, but 3 different editions of it on Blu-ray. Right here we have the regular retail release of Cowboy Bebop. We're also going to be talking about the Amazon exclusive edition of the show, and finally, the Funimation exclusive edition, which comes in some very awesome vinyl record style packaging. So let's not hesitate or waste any time. We're going to take a deeper look into these special editions right now. Alright, so the first version that I'm going to share with you is actually the one that I pre-ordered originally for about $65 off of Funimation. This is the Funimation exclusive combo pack. Now, the one thing you notice is that both these combo packs, whether it be the Funimation or the Amazon one, are combo packs. They come with both Blu-ray and DVD versions of the show, which makes it a little different because the retail releases are a Blu-ray singular and a DVD singular. So if you're one of those that prefers to get a combo pack, I guess I'd say I recommend getting one of the exclusives, preferably the Amazon one because it's a little easier to come by nowadays. But moving on, this is the Funimation exclusive one, and as you can see right off the bat, packaging is meant to be reminiscent of a vinyl record. In fact, the coolest thing is little details that they actually have these dirty outlines and kind of scuffiness to make it look like there's a record actually inside. And the coolest thing is, as you can see, it actually comes with its own display easel. Very thin, it's not plastic or anything, it's I think it's a very sturdy cardboard, and you actually have the Cowboy Bebop logo on the back. So it's very nice they actually give you that option, because I'm sure they knew that there would be people like me buying it who would prefer to display this as opposed to throwing it in with their other vinyls if they have any. Now we're going to open it up and show you what is inside. It opens up like a vinyl record, a gatefold. On the left you'll probably notice is that these are actually exclusive to this particular version, which is these wonderful art cards that I'm going to pull out. And the first one you'll actually notice it has a nice little signature stamp of Shinichiro Watanabe. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He is, of course, the creative director and basically the genius behind the show. And the other art cards you have are as follows. You have Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, and finally, Ed and Ein. And on the right side of the gatefold, you have a little listing of all the episodes, as well as the extras and all that cool stuff. Basically, much like a real record. It lists everything like it would a record. And you actually have the printed number of the version of this, which, by the way, these were actually limited to 2,500 copies. Yeah, they were actually that limited. I have number 659. You can actually see right there. You have all the discs, Blu-ray and DVD spread out. It reminds me a lot of the other Funimation edition DVD set that I reviewed a long time ago, the Dragon Ball Z Rock the Dragon edition, where they had all the DVDs in a very similar style. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying, now wait a minute, they're slipping all these Blu-rays and DVDs into little cardboard sleeves. Isn't that going to scratch up the discs? Well, believe it or not, on the other side of these, I'll actually pull it out, is you'll probably notice, I hope it picks up on the camera, but it actually has a little coating on the back. It was actually explained in an unboxing video on the Funimation YouTube channel that these have very special padded coating to protect the discs, whether it be Blu-ray or DVD. So in shipment and in display, your discs are going to be perfectly fine. So I'm glad they actually thought of that little detail that, you know, people are probably going to want to watch their Blu-rays and DVDs and, you know, probably worry about whether or not their discs are going to be okay. The only problem I had is when I got mine, some of the discs fell out, but of course, you know, they were Blu-ray, so they were perfectly fine. And like I said, the protective coating on the back meant slipping the back in would have been absolutely no problem. They would have been fine anyway. And on the back, you have this beautiful artwork of the entire Bebop crew. Let's just put that back on the easel. That is just fantastic. I love this edition. It was definitely worth the purchase I made. $65. It goes for way beyond that right now on eBay because, like I said, this was very limited. 2,500 copies. These are going to be very hard to come by, not like the Amazon one. Speaking of which, let's move on to that one. Alright, so as you can see, here is the Amazon exclusive version. Now, as you can probably notice, it's significantly smaller. It's actually, in fact, for reference, let me see. Yeah, it's only slightly bigger than a regular retail Blu-ray, but it's a very nice set. Comes in this beautifully crafted clamshell casing. Now, how this works is you open it up like this. In fact, we'll just put it down on the ground so you can see. You just lift this up, and inside you have a big Blu-ray keep case of just like the Funimation 1 Blu-ray and DVD versions of the show. Different artwork than what you'd normally get with the other releases. Now what makes this set even more cool and exclusive, and why I actually recommend this one to hardcore fans who can't afford the Funimation one, it comes with not one, but 2 exclusive art books. You have a 140-page sketchbook, all in black and white. We'll just kind of skim through that. So you have sketches of characters from the show, as well as locations, layouts, just a bunch of stuff you'd kind of expect from, you know, concept art or any kind of behind-the-scenes stuff on how animation works. It's a great little book. As a fan, it was just really great to see some of this artwork, because I'm a big fan of the art and animation of the show, because it's just beautifully done. Wonderful show. Can't get enough of it. But that's the sketchbook right there. And the other one you have is a much smaller one, a 52-page art book. So it's a full color, represented with the cover here. And you got some great shots of the show, like you've got the logo, actually the same image they used on the record version that I have. And just skim through, it's just a bunch of kind of the same stuff you probably find online, a lot of the wallpapers that I've seen in the past few years. And I got a spread right here of Faye Valentine. And actually we'll skip to one of my favorite parts, is that they actually have a full color breakdown of all the different intermission cards that are used within the show. They also have a breakdown of the famous, and one of the best things about the show, arguably, opening theme song intro with the fantastic little James Bond-esque visuals. So they actually have it broken down scene for scene. It's fantastic. It's almost like a storyboard. It's fantastic. Last shot right there. And believe it or not, the last shot, or at least one of the last shots of the entire series, the iconic bang scene. And it's just great. I can't get enough of these collector's editions. They're wonderful. It's just a great way to represent the show. That's basically all the inside and out information on the Amazon exclusive version. This is the collector's edition I highly recommend the most, simply because it's a lot easier to find nowadays. I think it's back in stock on Amazon right now. It's the only exclusive edition you can actually slip onto your shelf with your other Blu-rays, so I guess that's one of the main appeals of it. I'm just more of a diehard collector, so I'll get any version really, especially since I love this show so much. So that's it for the Amazon one. Let's move on to the final version, which is the regular retail Blu-ray release that you can find anywhere. Here we have the regular retail release of Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray, and it's actually going to be a lot harder to keep this on because, well, unlike all those other sets, it doesn't stand very well on its own, but just bear with me. So, like any kind of Funimation release, it comes with a full-color slipcover. Now, it's really hard to talk about this one a little more in depth, considering the fact that it's not a super collector's edition, but it is still a very nice package, considering, you know, if you can't afford such exclusive editions. I really like the artwork on this one. I mean, all the artwork has been great, but this one, especially for a regular retail release, which they could have just done a shoddy job, just slapped it together. I just really like the design overall. Yeah, they actually make it look like it's got creases and bends and such. I love this sort of old music, old record, retro look they're giving the show, because it really suits the show with the, you know, the style of it being an homage to film noirs of the 1940s and the 1950s, and of course using some jazz and blues music as its main score. Inside you have a standard keep case with all the discs, just Blu-rays of course. Keen viewers have probably noticed that all the discs are actually meant to look like vinyl records, and they actually go so far as to give them a little texture, like where I put my finger right now. You can actually feel lines that basically mimic record lines, if anyone's ever owned a record. I hope there's people that watch who have. It's fantastic. The attention to detail in this release, no matter what version you get, the attention to detail is absolutely fantastic, and it makes the long wait for this series to come out on Blu-ray or just come out on DVD again, because I believe it was out of print for a very long time. It's just really nice to have this show available to the mass market all over again. That's really all I have to say about the retail release, and basically all I have to say about all the different versions of Cowboy Bebop that I have. So, without any further ado, let's go back to my chair for my final thoughts. So yeah, some pretty awesome exclusive editions, if I do say so myself. I happen to be lucky enough to get both of them. I don't honestly recommend it for fans of the show, casual fans or otherwise. It's a very expensive endeavor, but if you happen to be a die-hard fan and have a lot of woolongs to spare, I do recommend you pick up at least one of these collector's editions, and if you're crazy like me, pick up all of them. The retail version is still a very stellar release with some excellent picture and audio quality that perfectly represents the show. It's aged beautifully. The remaster is is fantastic. The audio quality is great. The picture quality is absolutely amazing. I can't get enough of it. It's like watching the show for the very first time in beautiful high definition. It just translates very well. And there's tons of bonus features for any Cowboy Bebop fan, diehard or otherwise, which include Memo from Bebop, the dubbed Sessions Remembered, which is basically a 90-minute long featurette with interviews with the voice cast and the voice director of the show, which is a fantastic watch, as well as the Dinner Aboard the Bebop, which is my personal favorite bonus feature on this thing, is another featurette where all the voice actors and the voice director sit down and have dinner and just kind of reminisce about the show and their memories. It's very similar to a bonus feature that was on the Firefly DVD and Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken, which seems fitting because Cowboy Bebop has a lot of similarities to Firefly and vice versa. Everything else is kind of standard stuff you'd expect from a release like this, including English and Japanese audio commentaries, which are really good. I have not had a chance to listen to the Japanese ones, but I have listened to the English ones and they're very good. An interview with Wendy Lee, who was the voice of Faye Valentine, who's gone on to be a very established voice director and voice actor in anime, as well as an interview with the Cartoon Network producer Sean Akins, Ein Summer Vacation, which is a 1 minute long kind of storyboard animatic sort of thing. It's very cute, but it's not something that I recommend you watch right away. Tank music video clipped, and of course the typical textless opening and closing songs. So overall, if you're a diehard fan of the show, pick up this release. Doesn't matter which version you get. If you want more bang for your buck, pick up either the Funimation exclusive or the Amazon exclusive, although the Funimation one is getting a little harder to find considering it was a very limited release, but the Amazon one is still around. It's just very hefty price tag, but I do recommend it if you're a diehard fan. But if you're just a fan of the show, or you are not a fan of the show and you're interested in checking it out, just get the regular retail release. And that's really all I'd have to say on the matter. Check out Cowboy Bebop if you've never seen it, and if you have seen it, then, well, own it in the best possible quality that you can. This is an unbelievable release. It was well worth the wait, and well, I'm just exuberant and over the moon with the fact that I now finally have one of my favorite shows of all time on Blu-ray in my collection, and 3 different versions to boot. How about that?
That's it for my review of Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you, Space Cowboy. Bang.
Chris, what are you doing on the ground? Come on up. I made us some dinner. Bell peppers and beef.
Buzzkill.